Jack Frost!
Santa. Wow.
I hope the Yetis treated you well.
Yeah. I love being shoved in a sack and tossed through a magic portal.
Oh, good. That was my idea.
Worship the Guardians. Sure, we all know the beloved childhood legends. Unsurprisingly, there was a movie in 2012 made by DreamWorks Animation that featured a bunch of beloved childhood legends like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and many more. And it's also based on some book series called All the Guardians of Childhood, which I have never read in my life. But however, when the movie was released on November 21st of 2012, it featured mixed reviews from critics and was $306 million worldwide. But however, because this movie had a budget of $145 million, it turned out to be a big disappointment at the box office. Did cost the studio to lose $87 million. But however, it did receive a Golden Globe and Emmy Award for Best Animated Feature, and it even got a tie-in video game. So even though this movie did disappointingly at the box office in 2012, that doesn't mean that I have no hope for this movie. And in fact, maybe there was even a chance that this movie could not only be really good, but could maybe even be a bit of an underrated gem. So now that I'm gonna write childhood legends trying to stop the boogeyman, will this movie be as wonderful as seeing a childhood legend for the first time? Will this movie be as pleasant as having nightmares? Well, let's find out. And not a spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this movie. So, now let's talk about the story. And when it comes to the story, it can be best described as the Avengers but with childhood legends. It's about Jack Frost, who's this legend that no one believes because no human can see him. But however, he later got taken by some other childhood legends that everyone believes like Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and the Sandman. And because of it appeared cold, pitch black hole. Oh, the boogeyman who threatens to scare children. So it's up to Jack Frost and the other childhood legends to stop the boogeyman and protect the children of the world.
The children are in danger. We need help. Bring me
Jack Frost. Jack Frost?
And I want to say that the biggest fun with the story is that the writing can sometimes be predictable, and not to mention that the pacing can be really messy, where some scenes can go way too fast, while some can feel a little slow. And speaking of going way too fast, the biggest fun with the story is the ending. So, while I don't think the ending is horrible, the problem with the ending is that I feel like it feels way too fast. Where I know this may have some spoilers, but in the ending, they literally defeat the boogeyman and go back to Santa's sleigh. Like seriously, that's how the movie ends. But however, does that mean that the writing and story is horrible? Oh, well, actually, unsurprisingly not really. In fact, some of the story can actually be fine. So the best part of so one of the better parts is one of the better parts of the story is some of the light-hearted moments. Some of the light-hearted moments. That can at least be somewhat nice to watch. And prevents the writing from being bad. So now when it comes to the story itself, while I would say that is far from the best, at most, the stuff is mostly okay. So now let's talk about the animation. And even though the writing can have some problems, that doesn't mean that the animation is bad. In fact, it can debatably be some of the best parts of this movie. Well, when it comes to the character design, they look a little more creative than what you would expect. Well, Santa Claus. Well, some characters like Santa Claus. Oh, there's the bunny. Look a little more action-packed. The tooth fairy resembles a hummingbird and a human. And the Sandman resembles a mute funny character. And also the background animation looks really nice and can look quite engaging to watch. And the overall movie is really colorful. And also I like that some of the characters use powers like Jack Frost having ice like powers, and the Sandman having Dreamland like powers. And also there was also a scene where Santa rides his sleigh. That looks quite engaging to watch. And can look really fun.
I hope you like the loop-de-loops.
I hope you like carrots.
Here we go!
And there were also some action scenes in this movie. That actually look pretty solid. And really awesome to watch. But have you experienced any problem with the animation? Well, surprisingly no. Because of all its creativity, we shall see some wonderful animation from DreamWorks. So now let's talk about the characters. And when it comes to the characters, they are actually quite decent. So while I wouldn't say that all of them are great, but none of them are hateable either. So now let's start off with the main character of the movie, Jack Frost, who's this legend who's this legend that has ice powers? But however, everyone has forgotten him for 300 years. For 300 years, which is the reason why absolutely no human can hear him. As however, later in the movie, do the humans actually remember Jack Frost? And Jack Frost even remembers that he actually was about of some family.
I love being on my own. No rules, no responsibility.
And ever Santa Claus, who while being a little more vacant picked, he is still mostly nice, and speaks with a Russian accent.
For as long as they believe in us, we will guard them with our lives.
And there is also these two Bunny who shows slightly more aggressive than Santa Claus, and speaks with an Australian accent.
Been a long time. Blizzard of 68, I believe. Easter Sunday, wasn't it?
And then there is also the Tooth Fairy who likes to collect teeth from children. And there is and she also has some baby hummingbird like Tooth Fairies. And there is also the Sandman who is mostly silent, and is the only guardian that was captured by Pitch Black, aka the Boogeyman. But however, he is quite enjoyable, and there were also the kids. Each where the main one is the first one to believe in the Guardians. But however, they haven't they're super interesting. And they were also the Yetis. And the goblin-like elves who are mostly comic reliefs. And finally, there is the villain of the movie, Pitch Black, aka the Boogeyman. Because the humans didn't believe in him, he decided to take revenge by scaring children. Which while he isn't an amazing villain, he is mostly a decent villain.
What an adorable dream. What's more powerful? It's fear.
And also the voice acting in this movie is actually quite good. And can be enjoyable. So when it comes to the characters, while not all of them are the most interesting, they are mostly decent. And there can be some characters that can actually be quite likable. So as I've said before, this movie wasn't that successful as it was a big box office disappointment for DreamWorks. But I decided to go with an open mind, and I actually discovered that this film is actually really good. Rise of the Guardians is a really good good film with childhood legends that we all know and love. So, while it may have some problems, they keep it away from being amazing. Like the writing not being the best. And the ending can feel rushed. Still has some other things that make this feel really enjoyable. Like some amazing animation, decent characters, awesome action, really solid voice acting, and some light-hearted moments. So now that's for my recommendation. Even though I probably recommend this movie to most people, the people who I recommend this to the most are kids who love childhood legends. And I'm pretty sure that they will probably have a great time with this movie. And that's why I'm saying that this movie was really good and gets an 8 out of 10. Sure, while I hesitate to call it some of the best films from DreamWorks animation, it is still a really good, and maybe even an underrated film.